The back squat, the king of exercises. Sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face to face with your greatest weakness. The barbell squat is not just a pillar of strength, but it's a belief system. Some people's cowardice stray their path from their true potential. Some people commit their very existence to perfecting the movement. As an art form, the squat is the foundation building block where we can develop true power, requiring not only resilience, but mental fortitude to persevere through roadblocks and obstacles. The few courageous men and women who surpass these obstacles and seek enlightenment can achieve greatness, pushing the boundaries of human evolution and giving us mortals a perspective of what's truly possible. Blaine Sumner achieved a 1,135 pound squat at the 2017 Arnold Sports Festival. Wei Ling squatted 4 times her body weight with a 210 kilo back squat at just 46 kilos body weight. Today's video is all about the barbell squat, history, significance, functionality, variations, and why you should squat more. Want a squat program? AbsoluteBeast.org has you covered. Get started now for only $5. Back squat predates bodybuilding, powerlifting, and even Olympic weightlifting. First used and seen by circus performers in the late 1890s to display feats of strength and human development for crowds in the thousands. One of the founding fathers of squatting, Eugene Sandow, the first popular bodybuilder, gained inspiration from strongmen and bodybuilders of the circus world at the age of 10. He decided to pursue a career in bodybuilding and strongman. In 1894, Eugene wrote Sandow's System of Physical Training. In this book, he clearly outlines the use of back squat as one of his movements of choice, coached by Professor Attilia, the man who introduced the barbell squat to Eugene. In the final edition of this book, in 1907, he coined the title bodybuilding, which was a derivative of where the popular sport began. In Eugene's version of the squat, he used light dumbbells on either side rather than a barbell on the back, the way that we practice today, because racks were not yet invented. Men developed their own way to get the bar onto their backs by standing it upright, then lowering it onto their traps starting in the bottom of the squat. This obviously limited squatting capability due to the strenuous starting position. However, in the late 1920s, Henry Steinborn squatted a massive 500 pounds for 5 repetitions with a barbell that he lifted from the floor. The squat was further innovated by Paul Anderson, a gold medal winning Olympic weightlifter who popularized powerlifting and the use of the barbell squat to build superhuman strength in his legs. His personal best in 1965 was a 930 pound squat. He often squatted tractor reels, oil drums, and essentially anything he could mount on his shoulders. Fast forward to the 1970s. There were people such as Arthur Saxon, Louis Cyr, who used the back squat to build huge muscles in their quads, glutes, and hamstrings to shock their competition. All of these people use the barbell squat to enhance performance in their respective sports, build a physique which up to this point has never been done before. For now, it was finally time to use this methodology in a sport that represents raw power, powerlifting. Louis Simmons and Westside Barbell produced some of the greatest powerlifting totals of all time, using the conjugate method. Louis Simmons himself put up an impressive 920-pound back squat only a few years after breaking his back. Functionality. From the perspective of fulfilling human survival, the barbell squat is not the most functional movement. To be quite truthful, squatting any more than your own body weight may seem to be useless, as picking up an item and putting it on your back isn't the most efficient, nor will it achieve anything great. However, the functionality of the squat is to improve your human functions: deadlift, posterior chain, core strength and stability, and even build you a bigger chest and stronger arms. Generating the power required to leap heights beyond what was thought to be capable comes back to the sheer brilliance of the squat itself. What muscles does the back squat train? Primarily hip extension, knee extension, and isometric lumbar extension. These three movements in our body primarily activate four muscle groups: the glutes, the adductors, the quads, and the spinal erectors. Because the squat is such a great compound movement, making it an easy tool for progressive overload. Anywhere from 1 to 10 reps in a barbell squat will see muscular and strength development, whereas anything over these repetitions will cause a breakdown in technique due to fatigue. Now let's build your technique. My favorite cues for having a stable back squatting position are keeping your hands as close as your mobility permits. This allows for the spinal erectors to activate and gives you a good lifting platform with the barbell. Position your feet in your desired squat stance. With time and experience, this becomes much easier. Find a position that feels the most comfortable for your squat. I normally go just outside shoulder width. Take a deep breath. A full can of Coke is almost impossible to break, but an empty one will crumble without effort. Be that full can of Coke. If you are also wearing a belt, push against that belt with your core. It will stabilize you much better. Turn the quads out. This activates our glute medius, a small muscle on the side of our glutes, allowing for our knees to track in the correct direction. Lead with your hips. Allow the hips to travel back first. This will keep you from going on your toes, keeping you upright and stable. Drive through your heels and the ball of your foot. A similar concept to driving your hips back. Driving through the heels and the ball of your foot delivers the most power possible to activate those muscle groups primarily responsible for the squat. And the final point, hold that breath until you reach the starting position. So many people that I've coached over the years, as they're coming out from a squat, they will breathe out. You are limiting your potential by doing this. You will also likely collapse in your core. Then the only way for the bar to go is forward. Reset at the top, rinse and repeat. Sebastian Oreb, coach to Halfthorne, the world's strongest man, says, the squat complements the deadlift and vice versa. So develop a strong squat and watch your deadlift numbers improve. Variations of the squat. The barbell squat has two main variations, the low bar and the high bar squat. High bar squats are primarily used by Olympic weightlifters and CrossFitters. The high bar variation allows the lifter to maintain a long spine during lifts, giving them the best possible position for their desired movement, the snatch and clean and jerk. The low bar squat was popularized by powerlifters and bodybuilders as it requires less upper trunk mobility and it utilizes far more hamstring, hip, and back strength to support the lifter. The low bar squat allows the lifter to generate more power in the squat rather than just relying on their quads. In terms, both squat methods are effective. The high bar squat is more effective for other sports, whereas the low bar is more effective at producing squatting results. But we don't just stop there. There are so many types of variation of squats that allows lifters to manipulate this movement to achieve a slightly different outcome. Some of these variations include the box squat, the front box squat, the front squat, the belt squat, the safety squat, the chamber bar squat, the zercher squat, the hack squat, the cane squat, and a plethora of other ways to squat. The barbell squat has revolutionized the way that we develop lower body power and will stand the test of time as the king of all exercises. Some run from it, some avoid it, but others realize its true potential. If you want to start squatting, but you don't know how to start, jump over to Beginners to Beast. I'm releasing a free squatting cycle daily. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. You guys at home, stay a beast. Do what it takes.